Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam and today you guys we're going to do some planty chores. So if you have some chores you'd like to do, come along with me and join me. Now my first chore of the day, you guys, I'll be working in the sunroom, is this big baby right here. My philodendron emerald red. As y'all can see, you guys, the new growth is touching the ceiling. And it's time, you guys. It's definitely time for me to cut it. I did foresee it growing to this height, so I did do some air layering right here. And as y'all can see with the red roots, they are really growing wild in this bag, actually coming out of the cup too. So I'm excited. I'm going to start off by using my sanitized shears, of course, and I'm going to make a cut right here. And I'll take it off. It's kind of top heavy. Wow, guys, I mean, dang. What y'all think? These leaves are really sizing up. And, you know, I have it on that cocoa coir pole, but, you know, only for support, really not to, I don't wet it or anything like that. So, but you see how the leaves are sizing up. Now that I've cut it, I'm going to have to let it callus over a little bit, at least for me to feel comfortable enough, because my goal was actually, guys, was to plant this on the other side of this pot right here. But I don't even know now because of the space. Like, I have room in the pot, but I don't know if I'll have room on the other side because, as you can see, the petioles really reach out. So I have to think on it, you guys, and see if I need to just put this in a separate pot. I don't know. It looks so good. It looks like it needs to be in its own separate pot. What do y'all think? Comment below and share, you guys. I'm interested in it. But anyway, as I sit this down, on to the next chore. Okay, guys, so we're just going to canvas the room real quick. There's a couple of things that I already have on my mind that I want to do. So yeah, so just let's jump into it. It's a little messy for my liking, but you know, I'm a little neat freak, I guess. And as far as some of the aesthetics, as far as cleaning, I'll probably get to that later. But my main focus, you guys, is actually just doing some plant chores. So I have my watering can already filled with water down below. And that's one of my gallons, you guys, that I use. I have probably about a total of 4 1-gallon jugs that I use occasionally to water my plant babies. So let's just get right into it. Before I even start watering, I need to inspect the plants that need watering first. So I'm looking at my peperomia hope. I don't know if you can see that. See how the leaves is crinkled? That's an indicator for me that it may need water, but that's indication number 1. Then I just stick my hand in the soil, and the soil does feel a little dry. The leaves are pliable, so this one does need a drink. I'll come back later. This one right here I just watered, so doesn't need any. This one pretty firm, it doesn't need a drink. This one right here, yeah, it needs a drink, but I'm gonna take this one out. I just watered this one. I know it doesn't need a drink. Ooh, yeah, already almost snapped that leaf right here. Yeah. Oh, that's a new leaf. Yeah. I had just watered this. I don't want to. Yeah, the leaves feel kind of firm. This I know needs water because the leaves are, the color is fading. When it's well watered, you guys, the green color is darker. So I already know that this needs water without even me checking the soil, but for you guys to be safe. Yeah, it feels bone dry, so that needs some water. I don't need to water that one. I do know. This is my succulent string of ruby something other. Yeah, and I always go by the leaves, you guys. When I'm able to squeeze them, I need to give it a drink. These right here, fine, I know that. Not too good with these. I've killed one before, but yeah, this doesn't need any water because I can't even, it's firm. Up here, I know this needs a drink because I haven't given it any water. I know this one is thirsty as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's like slightly firm, but what I've learned is not to wait till it's completely pliable. Let's see my string of hearts. I'm just squeezing it. I'll probably give it some water. This right here, look at that, leaves falling. My Ruby Cascade. I'm gonna hold off on the water because I've killed my first one from overwatering. This one is fine. This one is fine. It's just too hard. I think I just watered this one the other day. Yeah. This one, I may have to do a bottom watering with this one, as well as this one. Let's get to it with the watering. Now the other ones that I showed y'all, I'm gonna have to take to the sink, so we're gonna go there. Okay, you guys, so now we're here at my sink, and like I told y'all before, as far as my Hoyas, I do spray the leaves with my sprayer, and this is lukewarm water, by the way. Nice spray. It's nice water. And sometimes I do wet it and give it fertilized water sometimes, but it's rare because I've been using that orchid mist on here, and I believe that helps with the blooms. It's a little bit too warm. I'm gonna let that drain. I'm gonna put it on a tray. And now on to the next chore. Okay, so right here I have my what is this? My Monstera Deliciosa, guys, and the leaves. I just recently did a pre-treatment about a week or so ago. I took it outside and sprayed it real good and gave it some neem oil. So I'm just doing a check on the leaves, just to make sure everything looks fine. The leaves are starting to curl. So one thing that I've noticed, you guys, when leaves start curling, you definitely want to check for pests first before giving it a drink. And you know, I have this big pot here, so my finger won't do. So I'm gonna have to use this moisture meter, you guys. I believe it is dry, but I always want to make sure that this thing is, you know, it's bone dry. Good part about it is this basket is covered with plastic. So traditionally, when I water my Monstera, I don't even use the watering can. It takes too long. So I'm using my jug. And you do want to allow your plants time to absorb the water, because if you keep constantly pouring, it's almost like you're drowning them. Just think about someone constantly pouring water down your throat with no control. So now I just let it lift it up. And as you can see, it is draining. And what I'll do is I'll let it sit in here for a little while. And then usually I kind of like just dump the excess water that's in here out. But for now, I'm just going to leave it in here. And let's see. On to the next chore. I believe that was the only plant left that I really wanted to water in here for now. So there's some other things I want to do. Okay, so another thing that I do in my sunroom is I canvas the room to look for any yellowing leaves, any brown leaves, dying, decay leaves, and I kind of traditionally cut it off. I always have my sanitized shears, and I always walk around carrying a plastic bag so I can just put the trash in. And I do see some yellowing leaves down here, you guys. And it's yellow because I actually missed a watering here. So I did water it a couple of days ago. And these were the 3 leaves that were a victim of my forgetfulness. And so, just cutting them off. You always want to cut off your dead leaves, you guys, because dead leaves, yellow leaves, brown leaves, been my personal, I guess, experience that either pests could be around them, causing that to be going on, or they can actually attract pests. So you want to make sure your plant collection is as clean as possible, whenever you have the time, of course. So this one right here is my propagation silver sword. I'm a little disappointed with this because, I don't know, I put effort in propagating this. I may go ahead and just treat this because I really don't know what's going on now. When I put it in soil, it just started acting up. So I don't know if it's a case of it trying to get acclimated. I mean, if it dies, it just dies, you guys, because, okay, I see fungus gnats. If it dies, it's okay. I have the mother plant in my home. I may have to actually, let's see, you see that? Treat this a little bit. This little fungus gnats coming out. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know. So I may actually have to treat that. I'll do that a little later. Down here, Plowmanii. This thing, I'll probably talk to you guys later about this. Matter of fact, I will. I think I'm gonna have to probably. So as you can see, I want to clean this up. So I'll do that in a little bit. And we can talk about this baby. These leaves, yeah, this Hoya leaf, let me check. They feel kind of firm, but yet pliable. Stick my hand in the soil. It's just slightly dry. I mean, and then slightly, a little bit of liquid. I may have to take this one outside and water that a little bit later. I do see a dry leaf here. For my burrow marks. This plant looks a little dusty too, you guys. I may have to, you know, usually I take this outside from time to time and give it a good spray, or I put it in my sink. This dry too. Okay. See that? You really have to be on top of your watering with that, you guys. Look at that. Try to cut this off. Really. You really can't be lackadaisical with your watering when it comes to the rantas. As you can see, they show no mercy. It's kind of hard for me to cut this one. Let's see. And you see this leaf right here. once it turns yellow, it's not coming back. Might as well cut that off too. So I'm just gonna clean that up a bit. And then, yeah. I find myself having to water these every 3 to 5 days, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it feels moist, but it feels slightly wet, but not moist. So maybe I do need to give this a little drink. And always check for pests. But I may also take this to the sink and spray it down. I think that's what I'll do right now. I'll take both of these plants and spray them down real quick with water, just so I can put my mind at ease. Okay guys, so one of the first things I want to do, like I said, when I was going through this with you guys, I saw like fungus gnats or something flying out of there. So what I want to do, not saying it'll work, but you know, this is what I got. I'm just going to go with it. Is I want to spray this topsoil with this insecticidal soap. And the reason why I'm doing this, you guys, is because I just watered this plant a day or so ago, and I don't want to water it again. So I'm just spraying it right now with insecticidal soap. And what I'll do is I'll make some mosquito bit tea, and next time I water this plant, I'll use that so it can go into the soil. I'm not quite sure if that's the reason why this plant looks like it's declining, but I just potted it up probably about a week ago, and it honestly just acted up or declined after that. So I don't know, but like I said, this is just a propagation. If it goes, it goes. I can't worry too much about it. Okay guys, so I'm back. I had to wash my hands. I felt like I needed to wash my hands before I started touching the rest of these plants, considering I don't know what's going on with that silver sword. So right here is my Pilea grandifolia, the coral variety, and I'm just cleaning it up a bit. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm using these Velcro tape to kind of like hold it together, because like I said, this thing is grown wild, and I'm trying to just more or less pretty it up a bit, because this one, although it bounces back, the leaves are quick to turn brown when you miss a watering, and the flowers, although pretty dainty, they can tend to dry up on you. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling off some of these I guess the blooms that kind of dried up. I don't like the way they look, because when they drop, they too turn brown. And I'm gonna have to clean all this up a little later. Just pulling it off and dropping it on this table for now until I actually clean. And I'm looking through the stems too to see if there's any well, you know, I guess dark stems that I need to cut where there's no leaves are no longer present. So that's what I'm doing. So as I'm doing this, you guys, let's talk a bit. So I want to first make a mention that, you know, I have a large collection of plants. So my plant chores, honestly, so that I won't feel overwhelmed. You know, the things that I do for my plants, I definitely can't do within a day's time. That would be very unrealistic, especially since I work throughout the week. And usually my day off is my only time that I say that I kind of like dedicate to doing chores such as this. I wouldn't, unless it's an emergency type of situation, I wouldn't dare attempt to do a chore like this. Dang, this leaf. Do a chore like this during the week. I would be a little bit too tired. It broke right here. I could propagate it, but actually, guys, I'm probably not going to. That's another thing with collections. I don't know if any of y'all have a large collection. Comment below and let me know. After a while, you get a little tired with the propagations because you run out of friends you can give plants to. You know, some people take plants from you to be nice. People that's not really into plants, they'll take it from you to be nice, but then you can't be like oversaturating your friends with plants every time you propagate. You want to be like, hey, you want to take this plant, and they don't love plants not like we do, so they wouldn't really understand. But okay, this leaf is brown. I'm just gonna cut it. This one looks way better than my green one. My green one, for some reason, it is the green coral that I have, guys. It is struggling, like, seriously, like, what is going on? And even though I've had both of these plants for a couple of years now, it's just, I don't know. I'm just I want to control it as much as I can, even though it's definitely just growing. It's growing the way that it wants to grow, really wild. This can be really one of those plants that just take over your entire collection if you allow it. But I'm going to just try to, I don't know, I guess tape some of it so it can be somewhat controlled. When it was smaller, it looked really cute. It had like a tree-like structure to it. And I kind of like the aesthetics. Now I'm just maintaining it. I'm not even trying to, it's so wild, you guys. I'm not even trying to shape it or anything. I know that might sound lazy to some of you guys out there, but when you have other things to do in your life, you do what fits you, right? But anyway, let me go back to the overwhelming piece. I can honestly say, I know people will say, okay, if someone tells you that they are not overwhelmed, they're probably lying. But I can say that for the most part, I haven't gotten too overwhelmed yet where I felt like, later for these plants. There have been times where I said, you know what, I do put the plants on hold. Well, I guess I'm contradicting myself, I guess, now that I'm saying that. Yeah, actually thinking, to be honest, there are times where I say, you know what, later for the plants, but not really later for the plants because I feel overwhelmed, but more later for the plants because you want to do other things outside of just caring for your plants, right? You still have a life to live. And being a plant parent is just a part of that lifestyle. To me, it's similar to, I gotta cut all these. It's similar to like having children. You love having your kids, your babies, and but sometimes you just need a night out to be an adult. So, it's okay to leave your kids with a babysitter or something like that. So we don't really have that per se in regards to plant world, but some of us is not that fortunate, but the concept is still the same nonetheless. So I don't want to say I say later for the plants because I feel overwhelmed. I honestly want to say later for the plants because I want to spend time with my husband. Later with the plants because I want to do a family gathering with my husband and my kids. Later for the plants because I want to talk to my best girlfriend, if that makes sense. So I think for me, I can't really, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, I think when I do that, it gives me a better balance when it comes to my plants. if I feel like I'm spending too much time with my plants, I will possibly take a break. You know, my husband made a joke a while back, and he made a mention. He said, every time I see you, it's with your plants, and he said you give these plants a lot of attention, and guess what? He's like, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the race if you let it, Pam. And you know, he had a very valid point to that. You know, because literally, I used to. Yeah, I don't really do that much now, but I can honestly say I used to actually go to work. It was ridiculous. Go to work, come home from work, and like drop my things down. I'll take my shoes off for the day, put my slippers on, and I would do a quick survey of the rooms in my house where the plants are to see what they needed. And honestly, you guys, I think I was about to drive myself a little crazy with that. So that's something I kind of learned not to do. Is, man, you just got in the house for real. Like, why are you worrying about these daggone plants? So I just enjoy them, so I didn't really look at it as like being overwhelming work. You know, they say when you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's probably why I probably wouldn't recommend doing that, but oh man, I probably wouldn't recommend doing what y'all just saw, but shoot, I'm being real here. When you have, it's just you in here with your plants and you don't have a third hand, that's what you do. That's what I do. Is it the right thing to do? Who knows? I'm not the queen of right and wrong, you guys. You know, sometimes you gotta, in life, I wing it. I think we all wing it in life. You know, honestly, I'm looking at this. I'm just holding it down, but I really don't like the way it look kind of crazy. But I can't do anything else outside of this. I could pin this up or attach this at the bottom at least. I mean, it definitely has that wild look for sure, but that's all I really wanted to do with that plant, is kind of like strap it down a little bit. I have it in this, what you call it, one of the Costa Farms pots, and I just watered that the other day, so that one is fine. Okay, so I really like this table I got, you guys. Said I needed to get something where I'm able to do or show you guys like planty chores in my sunroom, so I won't be like one of the things that I'm trying to balance. This is my Hoya Sarawak, and it feels like it might need a drink, so I'm going to actually, let me do this. I know it's going to be a mess. Alright, so just to drain it through once, but I wanted to actually wipe off the leaves on this plant too, because it felt a little dusty. But I'm glad I got this. I got this folding table, and I decided to get one so that I could actually be able to be free to talk to you guys and actually do my plant chores in here. Because I do, you know, even though I love my plants a lot, just because I love them, I can't expect everybody in my household to. And I really do try to be as respectful to like my husband's space and his chill time or whatever, because like I said, he loved playing his games. You know, we grew up in the beginning stages of the video game era, so I mean, he loves playing his games, and I don't want to And he loves interacting with people through chat in the games, and I don't want to really, I guess, interrupt that for him. I mean, considering that he's like temporarily, I'm not going to say temporarily disabled at the moment, and that's his outlet. I kind of don't want to be a good wife. I don't want to step on that, if that makes sense. So I decided to get this table so I could actually do the chores. Now, this is what I usually do, you guys, when I wipe down my plants. Like I said, I don't wipe down all of my plants, but when I do wipe down my plants, I wipe them down, or usually I have another spray bottle like this of water, and honestly, I will sit, I can sit and watch my favorite show or watch another YouTuber, actually, sometimes, and I'll spray my leaves, wipe them down, and then spray them with neem oil. And I can do that watching TV. So I think because I do it like that, that's another reason why I might not feel overwhelmed. So I'm going to spray it with neem oil. Don't really have too much with Hoyas, but I'm just doing it. And I let it sit sometimes, and then I'll take a dry cloth or maybe, what is it, paper towel, and just wipe it. Now my next plant, this right here, I showed y'all earlier, I wanted to clean it up. I saw that it was more than just one leaf for me to actually cut. I didn't want to bend over and have my helper hold that camera while I try to sift through this plant and just take a look. But this is the Anthurium plow manii. I'm just going to try to clean it up. But yeah, what was I saying? I didn't want to intervene. I didn't want to like step on my husband's only point of contact, you know, with the outside world by having him please be quiet while I do a video. You know, it was starting to, I mean, even though he, you know, he didn't have a problem with accommodating me, but I just didn't want to, I just feel like, you know, if I was in that situation, I would hope somebody would be considerate of the fact that, hey, this is my only outlet, man. You're telling me to be quiet, yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to really, like, in here, I can talk freely. I don't have to worry about interrupting him, and still provide you people with what I do on a day-to-day. Now, what I really wanted to do, you guys, and I was upset about it, but, you know, stuff happens, is the leaves are turning yellow because, honestly, I am forgetting to water this. I'm not watering this plant as often, and I was going to actually probably down pot it into, because this is I think this is an 8-inch. I think I was going to downsize it into one of my 6-inch self-watering pots that I have, but I went in the crawl space and I only had one left, you guys. The ones that these right here. These, I only had one left, you guys, and this part right here, guys, I don't know what happened. I got butterfingers. The darn thing fell on the ground when I was in my crawl space area, and the thing cracked so bad till it's not going to hold water. Water is going to seep through it. So I said, God dang it. I said, that sounds about right, right? So I won't be able to do that with y'all, because that was one of the things I really wanted to do. I'm not gonna, so this has a lot of leaves, so I usually try to, I traditionally would take this to my sink, you guys, honestly, and spray it down with water. It would just be quicker, but I'm sitting right here and I have all these other plants kind of like on the floor. And I may just go ahead and spray it a little later, but I just want to at least wipe some of the dust off of the top part. Now, am I able to spray all my plants and you know, wipe them down with water. No, I'm not able to do that. And honestly, like I said, the ones in the macrames, particularly, mainly the ones actually in my home, I would say, because they're the most more challenging ones with actually I don't know why I feel like I'm at a loss for words today, but they're the hardest for me to actually pull down, and it just takes too long getting them out and takes even longer getting them in. So I really don't do much, which is probably not a good thing. I don't do much pest management. This is just plain water, by the way. But you know, every so often, like if you get plants from the nursery or you get new plants and you see like those hard water stains, what I do, it's not very often that I do it, because honestly I haven't came across a plant with hard water stains like I used to. But I would put a little bit of lemon juice in my water, and that would tend to like get rid of those stains on your leaves. And that was I don't know where I got that tip from. I can't really remember, but this was like a few years back. But I tested it out, and it actually does work. So, but yeah, back to the macrames. Yeah, don't take them out. Like my peperomia hope that's growing almost to the floor, you guys. Yeah, those small leaves, they would definitely have to be sprayed. I have not ever sprayed that plant down, with any form of water. And I can't, it's so wild. I'm looking at it right now as we speak. It's so wild, I can't really, I wouldn't risk taking it out. As wild as long. And last time I took it out of the macrame, I think it was to do a video to show you guys, and I wound up breaking a stem because it was getting so long. Let me cut that off. Okay, so now I can say it's been a slow grower for me, but when I had it over here underneath my Sansi light, for some reason it wasn't growing. Then I moved it down over there where it's getting direct light. I guess for certain plants, natural light probably does the trick. This is my Ficus elastica shiveriana. I wanted to clean the leaves because for some reason this plant collect a lot of dust. And I tried putting this outside. I love this plant so much, you guys. I put it outside, and because I have my other rubber tree outside, the regular green one and then the ruby one, and they tend to be taken off. But when I put this one outside, it wasn't doing so well. I was so scared I was gonna lose this plant. I brought it back in the house because the leaves was just, I don't know, curling up real bad, you know, and I don't think I had to like water it that often or something like that. I don't know really what was going on with this, but I brought it back in the house, and whatever was going on with the leaves as far as curling, it stopped. But I also noticed like this, let me show you. See how that, I don't know if that's just part of sun stress, if that's a good thing or bad thing. It's like a pinkish hue to it. Maybe because it's getting a lot of sun. I don't know. But one thing I have noticed, yeah, this plant really gets really dusty, and I wound up having to clean this plant a little bit more frequently than the rest of my plants in the collection. And I want to take time to actually kind of, I'm able to kind of wipe the stems, and as a protective measure I'm going to spray it. Certain plants I definitely spray with neem oil, Neem oil for me is more of a preventative measure. I really haven't seen using neem oil when pests occurs. I really haven't. I've seen it more beneficial when I use it as a prevention. I have the concentrated formula, and so I kind of like just make a small dose, shake it up real good, and voila, and be done with it. So I'm gonna let that sit there for now. And let's see, I did that one. I sprayed that one. I do want to wipe this one. This is my my philodendron subastatum. I love the red backs. I want to wipe it down because it's starting to have the sticky stuff on the back. I know it's the natural thing that the plant does, so I'm not too worried about that. But sometimes I think it can also be like maybe possible form of pest, perhaps trying to build up. Not sure. I don't want to take that chance because, and sometimes you guys, as you can see, I'm wiping the petioles as well. Your main part, whenever you wipe down your leaves, you definitely want to pay attention to that connecting piece of the petiole with the leaf on both sides, really, because that's where pest formation, at least I've noticed, tend to build up or start with their stuff. So yeah, so it was getting sticky in the back, and I know that sometimes plants do that as a form of, I guess, protecting itself, because then I believe the sticky substance draws beneficial insects to it to kind of help protect the plants. But I just don't want to take any chance. Oh no! I made a boo-boo. Dang it. Being fast, you know. I ripped the leaf. Dang it. You live and you learn, right? Yeah. I really love the red backs on this. And I really love this plant because if you was to go back to probably like one of my very earliest videos, I can't even remember how far back, but it was definitely in the beginning stages, you guys. You would have saw how this plant literally it came a long way. This was one of my, I think my first plants I ever purchased from Ecuador. So almost 3 years ago. Wow, time goes by fast, you guys. 3 years ago. And it was doing good until it was not doing good. And the leaves started falling off one by one. And I was down to one big leaf. And I propagated it and it started taking off. And you know, the original leaf, the leaf that survived, it's not even surviving now. And I got all of this. So plants are resilient. Let's see. I'm sorry guys, I'm talking to y'all, but for some reason my mind, I think I must have something on my mind because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place a little bit mentally. But anyway, this one is my alocasia. What's this? Which one are you? It's just the dragon scale. And I do pride myself on keeping up with cleaning up the leaves on my alocasias because I do know that they're known for attracting pests, and I really admire the leaves on here, and I want to maintain the integrity of this plant because I care about it so much. So I do probably wipe the leaves down of these plants more often than any other plant in my collection. And I always try to remember to get around the petiole and also this dimple part that's inside. Yeah. Even have the baby leaf. This is the first time, I gotta say guys, this is the first time, because remember I was telling y'all I was having trouble with alocasias. I couldn't seem to get it past the 4th or 5th leaf type of thing that I was going through, and you know, a leaf would come and then, okay, I'm just looking. A leaf would come and then another would drop off, and I went through that cycle, but so far this one has been doing really good. I'm surprised that it has been giving me a lot of leaves at one time, and I do believe that it is because of the lighting factor. I have a couple of more. Oh, this one right here is the black velvet one. This one is, look at that leaf, isn't it gorgeous? This one is a yellowing, like dead leaf. It's dying off. I don't even know. I think I'll see there, as you can see, it's dying off, but then this one is growing a new one. I don't know why it does that, but I can say that the silver, well, the dragon scale one grows a little bit more vigorously than this one for some reason. And even though I know this leaf is going out, I'm still wiping it because you don't always know why it's turning yellow. You want to make sure that you're wiping off any type of pest. And let's see. But I saw like a little something trying to form. I think I want to, thought I saw something, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'd rather be on the safe side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it for a little bit. Spray that, spray that, spray that, spray that, spray that. Didn't really, sometimes I may get paranoid when it comes to my plants. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just want to be on the safe side. Yeah, I may just, let me spray that. Just feel better. I gotta tell you guys, it was satisfying for me to actually cut my red emerald. And so now I'm gonna have a second plant, but honestly, guys, where the heck am I gonna put it? I'm gonna let this sit for a minute or so, and then I may spray it. Okay, next one. Okay, so right here is my Calathea. What's this? Orbifolia. This thing is heavy because of the water, but y'all see that the roots is growing through the pot, so pretty cool there. And it's loving life right now, but I'm about to do something that a lot of you guys in the plant community is probably gonna be like, why in the world is she doing this? One of the things that I've learned, for me, only for me, I'm not recommending or suggesting that anybody do this, but when I was a beginner plant parent, I wanted to try to hold on to literally every leaf. I wanted to try to save every leaf. When it got crispy like this, such as this leaf right here, I would try to save it. Why? Because, you know, if you keep, you know, you would have to trim it, but not completely cut all the brown off, because if you do, it's been my experience that it winds up just getting brown, and next thing you know, it's just gonna keep getting further and further back till you won't have any leaf at all. An example like this right here is like some kind of brown spot. I used to try to save every leaf, you guys, and now I'm at a point where I don't have to, Pam, you don't have to save every leaf. Leaves are going to die as part of the cycle of life, and it's okay. So for me, now I'm worrying about aesthetics. So I'm going to cut the ones you see with the crispy leaves. It's not that many of them. The ones that's really got, like this leaf right here, I'm definitely cutting because I don't know what's going on right here. And instead of me trying to say, oh, I'm going to save this leaf, and it winds up being 1,000 pests with the leaf killing the entire plant, bye, it's just going to go in the trash. And so that's what I'm basically doing. Like this one right here, is this leaf right here. It's really not nothing wrong with the leaf. Honestly, I could trim it, but it's bothering me. So I'm just going to do away with it. And you know, cutting your plants is a good thing. So there it goes, it's gone. And I'm not going to feel bad about it, you know. This is my personal decision, it's my plant. I'm not going to feel bad about it at all. So I'm just cutting it because I want what I want, and there's nothing wrong with you wanting what you want. Like this leaf right here, I'm done with this one. Just trying to track it. And we're in the growing season. So, and this plant, for me, it has been growing vigorously since I've had it in this self-watering pot. And it saves a lot of time too, because I was really getting tired of watering this plant every time I turned around. This thing is it's a thirsty baby. So it really is a lifesaver. Okay, so this leaf right here, I'm getting rid of this one as well. Now my tap water here is pretty good. I can say, you know, my calatheas, my prayer plants, they get the crispy leaves, but I know you're like, why? But I am not. I'm okay with it. Some, you know, I gotta cut this one. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks. You have to cut your plants sometimes. Can't save every leaf. And it actually, believe it or not, when you cut it, it looks better. And I know it's going to grow more, so I'm not really, I'm cutting this too, not really worried about it. So please be nice in the comments if someone is triggered by me doing this, but it's like an unnecessary evil, I guess. Cutting that. Okay, let's see. This one. And sometimes, like to save your plants too, you can do a hard prune and it'll come back vigorously. Like y'all saw me do the which one? The prayer plant, my Leucanora, was it the variegated? No, not the variegated version, but the regular one. If y'all remember watching that, I had to do a hard chop to chop it down to, I don't like this leaf, to chop it down to 2 leaves. And now the pot is like totally full. Okay, so right here, you guys, I'm gonna show you something. This one is crispy at the tips. I don't really have the heart to cut this plant off completely, so this leaf off completely, so I will do that. I don't like the way this looks. I just feel better. I know I know y'all like, Pam, what are you doing? You cutting half of the plant. But honestly, am I? Because look how big it is. Can you even see where I cut it? No. And actually, you can't see it and I can't show you because it's so daggone full. I'm actually seeing another flute leaf coming up. But looks better, don't it? I think it does. So to sacrifice just a couple of leaves in the growing season will hopefully help promote this plant. I'm not going to feel bad at all. So now what I'm going to do is just actually just wipe the clean leaves, or the leaves that I have left. This right here, I mean, just let me show y'all before I do it. So this right here, just have this little corner right here that's crusty. I'm not cutting off the whole leaf for that. So I feel a little bit better like that. I left a little bit on there. I heard that leaving a little bit of the brown will help prevent it from receding back even further. So we'll see about that. Hopefully I'll remember to take note of that to see if that really worked or not. But I did hear about that. You know, y'all let me know too. Do cleaning your leaves, is it therapeutic for you? It's like so satisfying to me. Like, it's a Saturday right now. And I didn't plan. Usually on Saturdays I'm running around shopping, you know, going to the market, picking up stuff for my husband, this, that, third, yada, yada, yada. Taking care of stuff that I normally can't take care of during the week. And this weekend in particular, I kind of said the heck with it. With all the running around, I just feel like I need time to be able to just sit in the house and chill. You know, we have a tendency to run, and in some cases run until we actually collapse. And I can't keep doing that. You know, that's not, I don't know, that's not healthy living. I realize that, now I'm starting to realize that, or it's becoming important to me, I guess, now the older that I'm getting now. So I'm not going, I may have to, now I think about it, I may have to go to one store today. But that's it. I'm not going to a whole bunch of stores because sometimes I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of going to stores. I'm definitely tired of standing in lines. Lines seem longer. Workers seem slower. And the older I get, you guys, I don't have the patience anymore. You know, I used to, and this is like a little side note, don't have anything to do with plants. But when I was younger, like in my 20s, this might sound insane, but I used to live for the lines, live for the crowds, the rush of it all. I'd be the one to go on those Black Fridays, when Black Fridays first started really popping off, so to speak, and everybody. I could stand in a line. I didn't have a problem with it. Man, if I tried to do that now, I'd probably drive myself crazy. I can't stand in lines. I have a problem with standing in lines. I have a problem with, I just don't, I don't like standing in lines long. And, not trying to, I don't want to insult anybody. I really don't. But I have to be honest. I am a hard worker. I have a strong work ethic. For me, honestly, I was raised in a mindset of it doesn't matter what type of job you have, be the best at it. So it could be any job, you know what I mean? Janitor, cashier, whatever the case is, whatever the job is, be the best at it. And so I pride myself, looks better, right? I'm gonna put it back down here. I have another plant. This is my, and I need to water it, but I probably will water this thing off of camera because I don't have my bottom straight, because I don't think, let's see. Oh, well, it will fit, so I may, dang, I don't have my watering can in here. So I'm gonna wipe these leaves off. This is the philodendron Mia, or no, This is the green princess. Now, y'all tell me, is the green princess and the philodendron Mia this one and the same? Because I often wondered that. To me, they look the same, so I don't know. This plant has been a real good grower for me. I can honestly say it's just been having these little spots. I know certain philodendrons are known for having little spots, so I try my best not to spray this plant because I do know that usually plants that have those little spots probably don't like trickles of water being left on them. So these plants in particularly, like my jungle boogie too, is another one that has like these random spots on it. And it's not a pest thing, it's just that they have spots. I don't know why, but yeah. But let me get back to the, almost about to lose my train of thought. If you're still hanging in there with me, because I know plant chore videos, you guys, can be long. But like I said, hopefully you guys are doing chores with me, so I won't feel so alone in the plant fight. But I wanted to get back and touch a little bit on just work ethics really quick. Another sidebar that doesn't have anything to do with plants, but I feel comfortable enough around you guys to kind of just share some of my thoughts. And I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts as well. It's not about bashing anything or anyone, because I love everybody. I try to. Sometimes I don't get love back from everybody, and that's just the nature of the world. Sad to say, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But I do believe sometimes you can probably change maybe something about a person, one person at a time, if people are willing to receive some form of criticism. But anyway, I believe I have a strong work ethic, and I honestly believe that if someone was to ask some of my coworkers, without me being around, they could actually say the same. And it just pains me sometimes. It pains me sometimes when I go to certain stores and these cashiers, they move so slow, and I'm like, and they're young people. Like, I don't know, I'm just starting to see, like, to me, as we go along through the generations or something, somewhere along the line, and not everybody, not everybody, but I have noticed that the work ethics have been dropping a bit, and I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know. You do social media platforms, and I never want to go down the road of like speaking anything negatively, because my mother raised me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I do try my best to be mindful of other people, and definitely other people's feelings is important to me. I am a stickler with treating people the way that I want to be treated. And like some of my friends may say that, or people that care about me in general may say that may be like a slight downfall, because people, they don't do it in return, which is sad. But what I've learned is I'm not going to let whatever's going on in the world change me. Try my best not to. Sometimes I can go on and on about that. I don't want to make this like a downer type of situation, but I could go on and on about that. And yeah, I really can go on and on about that. And the reason why I can go on and on about it, you guys, and I'm sharing a little bit too much, but as my channel grows, I guess certain things I can be a little bit vulnerable with. Y'all don't know this, but I lost both of my parents at a very, say in my early, by the time I was like, should I spray this with neem oil? I mean, I forgot a leaf. I think by the time I was like 21, yeah, both of my parents was deceased. And man, just trying to like navigate through life, as even though legally 21, they say okay, you're adult legally, but mentally you're not there yet. You're not there yet. You still have a lot of things to learn, and a lot of things I wish I had the opportunity to like be able to talk to my parents, particularly my mom, because she was like my best friend. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her. And now I'm at a healthy spot mentally where I'm thinking about her in a good way. I used to think about my mom a little bit, and it would make me sad, so sad, and feeling so depressed. But I figured I had to wind up flipping it around. I kind of like would think about my mom's voice, because she was always like a when life gives you lemons, make lemonade type of person. I so want to follow her and make her, make her proud of me, so to speak. That's very important to me. It's very important to me. I'm not gonna say I don't know why, but this is pretty, you guys. What y'all think? Thinking you know what? I'm gonna spray a little bit of neem oil on it just so I can feel better, because this thing was really dusty, and it was really dusty because I did not wipe this plant in quite some time. Just spraying it. Another note too, you guys, if you use neem oil, if you don't know this fact already, if you are using neem oil on your leaves, make sure when you set your plants back, you are not having them in direct sun, because this is like cooking oil. It will fry your poor plant babies. Traditionally, when I do use neem oil, most of the time, I can honestly say it tends to fall and happen with me doing it on like a cloudy day. It's not too cloudy today, but I'm not going to put this right back where I usually let it sit before I actually put it back. Yeah, this really needs a drink. It is light, and I have it in this pretty green planter, so I definitely need to give it some water. I'm gonna get one other plant that I wanted to like trim some stuff off, and then maybe we can move on to my last and final chore that I want to do with you guys. So let me just go get it. While I actually do that, I'm gonna this baby right here. My mini tree. I'm gonna sit it back over here in the corner. Okay, so my last plant, I guess, of the day in regards to wiping down the leaves is my philodendron jungle boogie. I have not wiped the leaves off in some time, and also I want to cut these, what they call, sheaths. Is that what they're called? Am I pronouncing that right, guys? But yeah, this thing is doing really good with growing. I gotta admit, when I can't remember how long I actually had this plant. Dang, now I think about it, I think I might have had this plant for 2 years now, and it was not really growing for me. I actually thought it was gonna die, but then I do know that sometimes plants do take some time in your environment, but once they start growing, they can actually start taking off. I do know that they take some time, and yeah, but it's just started growing this year, and I mean it's really taking off, and I love the jungle boogie or it was tiger tooth. Okay, I'm trying to cut it as much as I can without cutting cutting the stem. This is so satisfying and rewarding for me to actually take that off. Because I be thinking it's like little pockets for pests to hide in. So you definitely want to try to clean it whenever you're able to. I don't pull it off every time I see a new one. Be like, oh my goodness, it's time for me to pull it off. I don't do that. This one is another plant that I don't wipe that often, and I'm looking at it, and it is extremely dirty. That is terrible. But like I said, sometimes we just don't have the time. It's okay. As long as it gets done, I guess. And it's not something that's going to be detrimental to your life or the life of others. I guess it's not too important, I guess. I don't know. I'm rambling on sometimes. Hey guys, also too, this just popped in my head. Because I was not peace lilies. The aglaonema. I've seen that new one that Costa Farms, I guess, is introducing into the plant community. It's supposed to be a hybrid aglaonema. Am I saying the word right? Aglaonema spathlonema or something like that. I'm on their list, and I know I had got a email invitation to go onto their website to purchase that plant. It's supposed to be. It's a very pretty plant. It has a green on green variegation. If you haven't seen it yet, you probably want to go on their website and check it out. So yeah, it's like a green on green variegation, and it kind of reminds me of like a watercolor effect, like dark green with the lime green. Kind of like, actually, now I think about it, yeah, like a philodendron Brazil upright form. They're saying that it's easy care. I don't know, it's a beautiful plant, but it's like, you've seen beautiful plants, but yet it's still not calling your name. So, I mean, thank goodness the plant isn't calling my name, because then I would be having a dilemma, right? And I need to really tone it down a little bit as far as buying plants, even though I think I've really done a real good job this growing season. I really haven't been buying a lot of plants. Now, last year around this time, boy, whew, no control. I was off the Richter with the buying of the plants. But now I'm a little bit, this year, I can say I've been very conservative. I'm proud of myself. Like I said, because I have a large collection, I am being very conservative in my plant purchases, and I'm going to get the plants that I really want and not worry about the plants that catch my eye, because I just don't have the space for it, for collecting those plants. So right now, because of the size of my collection, unless my house magically grows bigger, I'm not gonna, if I bring a plant here, it has to be something I really want. I've been really looking out for. My weakness right now, really, as far as like just actually grabbing one and bringing it into my home, my weakness would be, I actually say, any form of a Hoya. I definitely have a strong weakness for them. So I gotta try to stay away from them. But yeah, y'all let me know if y'all seen that aglaonema, the new variety one, at any of your local stores. I haven't been to Lowe's or Home Depot in a while, I think. And I just don't go there as often. You know, it's not like, oh my God, I gotta go there, because I just go there and I get so disappointed sometimes. I just kind of like, I give up looking. And I really wouldn't mind bringing you guys along for that, but honestly, you guys, I'm, you know, I'm not shaming. I really am not. But I wouldn't want to bring you along because I don't want y'all to really see how bad the selection be. I think what goes on is, you know, maybe these stores should hire someone who's a plant enthusiast. Better. Now I'm debating on whether or not, because I know this plant don't like being sprayed on. It does have these stupid spots. I really wish it wasn't on here. Mm, it may be also I think someone told me that it could be some kind of deficiency. Maybe. Like like I need to put, did I wipe this one? I don't think I did. That I need to probably put chelated iron to get rid of spots. The only thing about that is I have not been able to find, I may have to get it off Amazon. I definitely haven't checked there because pretty much almost, Amazon almost seemingly has it all, right? But yeah, I need to probably check Amazon and see. I just haven't seen it at any of the garden centers, which is a bummer. Another thing I haven't seen in the garden center either, now I think about it, is those, what's that, houseplant systemics. I have not been able to come across that. So that's another thing that I may have to look online. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to spray this with neem oil. I haven't had any problems. This plant is doing, like I said, way better than my poor ring of fire that's struggling over there in the corner that barely have leaves. I may have to, somewhere down the line, buy another one of those. But I have one more thing I wanted to do with you, and I'm just gonna come back. I'm gonna clean up a bit and then we'll come back. Okay guys, so now I'm back. I cleaned up the table a little bit, and the last and final thing that I'm doing for today, and I'll call it quits because it's around lunchtime and I'm getting hungry and it's time for me to eat something. I wanted to pot these up. Now, first thing I wanted to pot up is this Tradescantia Nanook. If you remember, I did a video real recently of this plant declining, and the little cuttings that I did show you guys, for some reason it kind of rotted out, so I had to wind up saving what I could, and I actually re-rooted them. And like I said, Tradescantias, look at that, they root very quickly, so I feel confident that these will be okay. So it's just 4 cuttings. I'm putting it back into this little candle thing that I had. I drilled a hole in it, and yeah. And I have my mix right here. You guys, this mix is a different kind of mix. I had to put a lot. I don't know if y'all see it, but heavy too. It's kind of grayish. It's really grainy. I mean, I put a lot of aeration into the soil, and the reason why is because the soil that I'm using right here was a bag, a dollar store bag that I had brought, and it was very dense, to say the least. And just want to put a little bit right here. It was very dense, and some parts was like hard as rocks, and I needed to put aeration into the soil, and I put lots of it because it definitely needed it. And so yeah, I'll see how that works. It was something that I wanted to try. But one thing that I can say, you guys, is, I like to save money whenever I can, but sometimes you have to go ahead and bite the bullet and just buy, pay for what you want, or pay for what your plants need. And I mean, I don't think I'll buy, because I didn't realize it was going to be that dense. Usually, you get the planting mixes from big box stores, and even though you have to add your extra mediums into it, I can say that it does already have some form of, like, most of them, majority of them do have some form of like perlite in them or something along those lines, and this didn't have anything. It almost looked like, honestly, like soil actually from out the backyard. It really did. I'm not gonna lie. It really did. So I had to add an extra lot of aeration. So if you think about it in that concept, did I really save any money? I don't think I did, but yeah. So, but like I say before, you live and you learn. And let's see. I hope this do well. You know, actually, if this plant, because I'm not as in love with Tradescantias as I used to be, because it is a lot of work to try to maintain them and keep the integrity in them. But I really love the pink hue and the green and the, I guess, the light pale color of the Nanook that I'm actually willing to try it again. So yeah, if this one doesn't work out, I could actually see me buying another one and trying it. It was doing so well, but you know, sometimes it's good to start over. So what do you think? Yeah, something about this pot. I just really love this pot. Little, not pot, but candle holder. Okay. And I'll give it a nice little drink later. Now my last one, I have this planter right here, which is an old planter, and I have one of my screens that I cut out. So I'm just going to put the screen at the bottom of this one to hold it, and I'm going to pot this baby up that we cut. So I'm kind of ending this video with the plant that we started out with, and it's been ample time now, so it definitely has calloused over. I'm going to cut these sheaths off. They're extra sticky, got a lot of floral nectaries. And yeah, I decided to go ahead and put it in the pot. I was going to put it in this big pot, but this is so beautiful, you guys. And I mean, this is the top cutting. I'm hoping that as it grows more and more, it will go ahead and size up. And like I said, this right here was touching the ceiling. And it was growing so fast. Every time I got to a point where I decided to cut it, the leaf would unfurl and it'd be another one. So I didn't really want to cut it while the leaf was still furled up, you know, because they recommend you not to. But at this point, like I said, it was kissing the ceiling. And I'm going to take it out of the sphagnum moss. I just had the... Let me take it out. Look at that, you guys. I'm going to pull the sphagnum moss off so I can free the roots from it. The spag is pretty much still moist a little bit. I love these roots. I love seeing healthy roots. Get so excited. Wow. I don't want to damage any of them. Yeah, they're well past that 2-inch marking that we would use to. But you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to use a bamboo stake for today. If the plant grows up and starts, I mean, really, honestly, I probably won't. I'm just going to probably get a plant stake and just go ahead and grow it like that. Because it really does not need, it doesn't need a sphagnum moss. It doesn't need a moss pole. It really don't, because, guys, look at the, now I don't feel confident with, I'm glad that fell off. I have to get a little bit more. I don't want, because you know, sphagnum moss, they hold on to moisture real well. I do not want to put this in the soil like this, and then when I water the plant, it'll be holding on to the moisture, even though the soil will be like, the soil will be dry, but then there will be moisture in the spag, and I won't know it, and then I wind up overwatering this baby and wind up giving it root rot. I've had this plant for quite some time. Well, not quite some time, but quite some time. I had it for a couple of years, but you know, it felt like quite some time because it was such a small plant when I got it. And I think, yeah, since I've had it, I chopped it. This is actually my third chop, but since I've had it, I chopped it 2 other times, and I put the cuttings. I've actually put the cuttings back into the bottom, which is why you see in the beginning of the video, you saw how full the bottom was. And I've actually had cuttings where I gave cuttings away. So this plant has been providing. I mean, these roots are stuck together, and I kind of want to make them separate. I'm a little anal in that way. Do it need to be separated? No, it does not. But okay, I think this is good enough. I just want to make sure. I do not want this plant to decline. Cool part about it, where I chopped it at. Let me see if I can show y'all too. I guess it's good enough. Okay, where I chopped, look at those roots, healthy and long. It's like a growing eye right there too. So I wouldn't be surprised, since I did just cut it. Even though I cut it and it's already propagated, it may activate some growth to go right there. And let's see. One thing I did do that off camera I didn't show y'all is I put cinnamon on this part, you guys. Cinnamon is a natural antiseptic. So even though I did let it, I cut it off, and we've been chilling for past hours, so it's giving it ample time to actually, I guess, let some air get to it. I just wanted to be on the safe side, and just put some cinnamon on it just to make sure it's nice and clean. A lot of aeration here. Let's see. And this is where it's going to get tricky, because I can't put it too deep in the pot, unfortunately, without, I want it to be up. Yeah, I think I got it. And I'm going to, it's very airy. I have a lot of, orchid bark and perlite, charcoal bits. So I have this bamboo stick. Now granted, it's nowhere near as tall as the plant, but this is what I have. And I'm just using it as an anchor, more or less. And I have, so I'm not even going to stick it that far down into the soil. Or is it already down in there? I think it's down in the soil. The stem is pretty thick, so I don't even know if my pretty decorative plants would even suit this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I doubt it. It probably won't. Nope. Kind of broke that off. Great. Well, option number 2. Let me get option number 2. I thought I could decorate this baby. All right, so when all else fails, Velcro tape wins the race. Like I said, I know it's already outgrown the stake, but I have other stakes. I'll put it on there. When it gets taller, I'll change it out. But for now, I don't really want the stake to be too high. And this one, you guys, I'm actually going to try to grow inside my house. And I'm excited to see and do a comparison between the two. Like how well. I think this one, of course, is going to always be the vigorous grower, because it is getting way more light than what the inside of my house can provide. But we'll see, because I'm going to put it probably in a spot where I have my Sansi light. And so, yeah, what do y'all think? I think the beautiful, what's the maroon petioles is playing off well with this beautiful light pink pot. So I see, without me planning, you guys, I have some kind of theme going here, huh? So, you guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you've made it this far, it's got to be one of the longest videos I've done. But if you've made it this far, Bravo, bravo to you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And to show support or to say, hey, I stuck it out there with you, Pam. Let's see, what can y'all do? Let's do a car. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm doing random stuff, you guys. I can be crazy a little at times, but yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, you can do an emoji of a car, because I'm quite sure now at this point y'all guys are ready to get in your cars and drive far, far away from me. But I don't know. I appreciate y'all hanging in there. Like I said, this wraps up this video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planting things, please subscribe, like, and share. Continue pushing up those thumbs. I do appreciate y'all that have been doing it. I notice a lot of people haven't, and that's okay. But I really would appreciate your support if you could just give me those thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing okay, and they'll say, hey, let me recommend Full of Foliage to someone. So yeah, so enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, you guys, and until next time, much love. Bye.